Hi guys, this is week 5 of personal finance. Hopefully you've not got the bit that I just recorded because my internet went out, so I'm just going to start again. We're going to be looking at 3 questions just to look at recapping the knowledge from last week. So we've got what is a scam, describe the term money mule, where can you get advice if you think you are a victim of a scam. All these answers are in your fact sheet, although I do want to see if you can recall it off the top of your head because that's what we need to be trying to learn. Building up to kind of like GCSE, you need to be looking at kind of your knowledge and recalling. So little tiny bits every single week helps you to remember the things from last week. So I'm going to pause it. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do this. Okay, so what is a scam? So obviously you can tick it if you've got it right. If you've not, you can add the little bits in, some additions to make it correct. So a scam is an illegal plan of making money, especially one that involves tricking people. So it's illegal, and the people that do it are trying to get something. So whether it's money or whether it's personal details. Okay, what is a money mule? A money mule is a person who transfers stolen money on behalf of others, usually through their own bank accounts. A lot of victims of these tend to be kind of like university students because they offer the money to pay for them, to do it. So if you do this for us, we'll give you 100 quid or something like that. And they tend to prey on kind of vulnerable people or people in situations where they think they can make some quick cash. Criminals contact people and offer them cash to receive money into their bank accounts and then transfer it from one account to another. So then when the criminals get this money, there's no real trace of where this money has gone in and gone out. So it's kind of like, it's money laundering basically. So the person that's moving the money between the criminals is called the money mule. Okay, so the last question, so question number 3 is where can you get help and advice from? So if you get any spam text to your phone, then you can forward them on to 7726. It's free of charge. They will then investigate it. If it's anything to do with your bank, you contact your bank. They are really, really good at looking at areas of scams and frauds. Action fraud, again, you can go onto a website if you've had any kind of issues you think with cybercrime, so internet kind of criminal activity. And also Citizens Advice Bureau, which is a government body which is free of charge. They'll give you free impartial advice to help you with the situation you've got. Okay, so this week we're going to be looking at how do I understand information about money from abroad. So really it's looking at money across the world, and it's also looking at kind of like how do you transfer one currency into the next. Okay, so write down, what do you think off the top of your head, what do you think a currency is? So write down what your thoughts are. Okay, and you'll need to write this down if you've not got it correct or make some additions to it. So a currency is the money that's used in a form in a particular country. So it's money that's used in a particular country, and it's in the form of notes and coins. Most countries will have their own unit of currency. So as you well know, you've travelled abroad before, it's not just the euro, there's lots of different currencies in the world. Write this definition down, this is a key term. Okay, so how is money different in other countries? Write down as many currencies as you can off the top of your head. Okay, so these are the top 25. If you have a look, it says on the right hand side. So United Nations recognise 180 currencies that are used in 195 countries. So there are a huge amount of currencies. But as you can see in the top 25 rankings, the dollar is the first one. Then you've got the euro, then you've got the yen, then you've got the pound, then you've got the Australian dollar, and then it goes down that. Now the rates at which these are worth, or the money worth of them, changes every single day. It changes every hour, every minute. It's all to do with buying and selling. So the more that they sell and the more currency that is in supply, then actually it tends to be cheaper. The more people want it, and there's hardly any to buy, so the supply is down, demand is high, that's when the price goes up. Write down the top 5. Okay, so this is where we come on to exchange rates. Okay, so the exchange rate tells us how much of a foreign currency you can buy for a British pound. So they're the kind of boards that you will see when you go to look at foreign exchange. So we have to convert our pounds into another currency. So for this example, we've got Australian dollars. we've got £1 which equals $2 Australian. So that means if you've got £10 of British pounds and you want to change it into Australian dollars, you would get 20 Australian dollars back. Okay, they change daily, and they can change hourly, so it depends, but generally speaking, if you're on the trading floor, they will change all the time in terms of the price that you can buy them at. But if you're going to like the post office or the bank, they normally change them on a daily rate. Okay, this is a little active listening. You don't need to actually watch all of it. You need to watch about 3 minutes of it. If you want to watch all of it, it's absolutely fine. There's no problem with it. I use this guide for lots of business studies revision, but this just tells you really how to calculate going from one currency to another. Make some notes. It will take you probably about 5 minutes or so. You will find the YouTube kind of clip address on the separate sheet that you can get for this week's work. Okay, so hopefully you've got a few little notes written down about how you convert from one to another. Let's look at the euro. So the euro is used in most European countries, not all European countries, but most of them. The main ones you can spend it in is Ireland, France, Germany, Spain, Italy. But it doesn't mean that if you bought a product in Italy, it will be the same price as you will get it in Spain, because it depends on how much it's cost for them to import it in, and it depends how much markup how much profit they want to make on it. So there are some countries that you buy the same product but it'll cost more money, apart from McDonald's actually, and McDonald's should be the same price. Okay, so exchanging British pounds for foreign currency. Okay, so you need to write the notes down that are highlighted in the yellow, where you can get your money from, so you can change it. I mean, you can do it at the airport, but that's really expensive to do it there. But the easiest and cheapest places is the bank, the post office, and travel agents. Travel agents will charge you. The post office, I think, charges you, but it's really cheap. And sometimes your bank, if you order it, is your own bank, they will do it for free. But don't get it if you need to get it, obviously from the airport, do so, but it tends to be quite expensive there. And remember, you can get those preloaded cards as well, so you can actually get like a debit card, and then you will load it up with money, and then you can spend it when you go abroad. So write that down. Okay, so you can do a little currency challenge now. This goes onto the Money Sense website. You do not need to log in with my login details because it is a student one. Also, that address is on the separate sheet for this lesson as well. It will take you about 5 minutes or so, I think, to do. So I'll come back to you then. Okay, now this is the important bit. So you need to write this down because this will help you do one of the next activities. You need to be able to convert money from pounds into foreign currency, and then you also need to convert it back. So for example, if £1 equals $2 and a pair of trainers was £100, you could work it out into the dollars. So you could then say, actually, I've come to England, for instance, I want to buy a pair of trainers in Nottingham. You've got some people come to visit Nottingham. They cost £100. How much would it be in dollars? So you do 100 times 2 would give you your dollars. But if you were in America and you're buying a pair of trainers that are $100, you'd want to convert it in your head to see how much it was in pounds, to see whether you're getting a good deal. You would do 100 divided by 2, which is the exchange rate, would say it's £50. So I'm going to pause this, write this down because it shows you how to do the calculations. Okay, so we've just gone through that, but this is another little kind of example. So on your next activity, you're going to go and visit several different countries, and you're going to find out how much a product costs. So I'm going to give you the cost of the product in that particular country's currency. You've got to then convert it back to British pounds. So remember to change your foreign currency back into British pounds. So you look at the currency, the foreign currency, so whatever it is, so whether it's rupees, whether it's yen, whether it's dollars, you divide it by the exchange rate, which I will give you, and that will give you how much it costs in pounds. So for instance, for this example, £1 equals 90 Indian rupees. The product you're buying costs you 180 Indian rupees. You get 90 rupees to the pound, so you do 180 divided by 90 equals that product will cost you £2. pounds. Now I'm going to pause it. If you want to write this example out again so you've got a bit of a kind of reference, then you can do. Now this is your little activity. I'm going to pause it. You need to write this down. If you want to print it, that's absolutely fine. And you need to convert it into pounds, okay? Let's see how you got on. Okay, so these are the answers. So you have bought something which is your Thai baht was 250. It equals £5 in your British pounds. Then you bought something which is 270 rupees, which converts back to £3. You've bought something which costs 40 Egyptian pounds, which is £2 converted to British pounds. You bought something for 10 Australian dollars, which is 5 British pounds. And then you've bought something for 50 Mexican pesos, which costs £2. So give yourself a tick. If you've got it wrong, write out the calculations. Okay, so this is another little brain teaser. See if you can work this one out. So you are going to buy a chocolate bar, okay, in South Korea. The chocolate bar costs you 691. The British pound is worth £1 to 1,380 South Korean won. How much is the chocolate bar? Okay, so you want to know, is it going to be cheap? Is it going to be expensive? In your head, you want to kind of work out, is this a good deal for the product that you're buying? That is the answer to the question. It is 50p. So actually relatively cheap, really, considering how much it costs for a chocolate bar over here. So if you've got it right, brilliant, give yourself a tick. Always remember, when you're in my lessons, you get marks for doing your calculations. So showing your workings, you get marks for that. So write it down if you've not got it correct. Okay, so you've got another little quiz to do. I will move my face in a minute, actually, when I redo this, and move that out of the way. That is a BBC bite-size quiz. It's a currency quiz. It'll probably take you 5 minutes or so to do. Again, the web address will be on a separate sheet. See how you go. Okay, so hopefully you did okay. You've just got to get your head into kind of like either timesing it or dividing it, and then you'll work it out. Once you've done a few, you'll get into the swing of things. Right, the last thing you can do is you could do a little bit of research, okay? So you can look at a particular product, any product that you want to do, and see how much it costs in certain countries, and then look at the exchange rate and convert it back and see where it is the cheapest place to buy. Okay, so this is week 5. This was your last week of lessons with me. Hopefully we will be back in school in September and everything will be back to normal as it possibly can. I'm really looking forward to getting back into the classroom. Make sure you keep yourselves safe and well. Keep washing your hands. And we will see you after the summer break. So have a fabulous holiday. Thank you. Bye-bye.